Hello, this is a quick update on the HP Envy 13-inch laptop. This is the AH0003NA model. So this laptop has an i7-8550U processor, 16 gigs of RAM, an Nvidxia MX 150 graphics card with 2 gigabytes of VRAM, 1080p touchscreen, backlit keyboard, and it's got dual band Wi-Fi with a Bluetooth as well. So I've been using it for about 10 months now for university work. I use it for cybersecurity and software development, so I run lots of virtual machines and compile lots of code. And the laptop has run really well. No performance issues at all with this laptop. No lags as well. All very good in that aspect. For video editing, I also use it for video editing, and it runs really well. Smaller clips, small to medium size clips will work perfectly fine. So clips up to 60 minutes to an hour. Depending on the resolution as well, they'll render quickly, well, in about an hour, depending on the size of the clip and stuff like that. But for anything hugely demanding, the laptop may struggle, and that's because of the graphics card. For 3D work, someone made a comment in my previous video, for 3D rendering such as a Blender or Autodesk 3ds Max, I wouldn't recommend the laptop for that kind of work. The graphics card just probably couldn't handle that kind of high intense work. The RAM and CPU are not a problem, but the graphics card would probably struggle to render high quality graphics. Sadly, the same goes for gaming. You can play games on this laptop, but it's not impossible, but they do have to be in the lowest setting. I have played Dying Light on this, you can see in one of my previous videos. It runs perfectly fine, but it is on the lowest settings, and you do get the occasional lag as well. So moving on to the laptop itself, it comes with a nice selection of ports. You've got your headphone jack, USB 3-port, USB-C, micro SD card, and then on the other side you've got your fingerprint reader, USB port, and power adapter with the power adapter light. Nothing wrong with the ports. The only issue is sometimes the USB port, getting USBs out can be quite tricky because of the slip thing. It just feels like it's going to break, but it's not a problem. Fingerprint reader is quite annoying. It does sometimes misread your fingerprints, which generally does get annoying. But other than that, there's nothing else with this. There's no Ethernet port. It does come with the USB-C to HDMI adapter. It's all aluminium build, by the way, and it just weighs in about 1.3 kilos, so it's nice and lightweight. So for a student, it's really good. It won't hurt your back if you're carrying it all day. Just moving on to the inside of this laptop, so just have a look at the keyboard and screen. I'm not going to go into an in-depth review because I've already done that in my two previous videos. Just bring this tripod down. Keyboard, as you can see, it's a nice keyboard, and it's been perfect. I mean, typing on this for 8 hours, it's absolutely fine. It's nice. You get good feedback. It feels really. I mean, the keys are quite flushed, so it's really nice tactile feedback. Nice spacing between the keys as well, and there's a bit of flex, but not much. The lighting is also very nice, as you can see. It's well balanced throughout the whole keyboard. The caps lock key has its own dedicated light, which is nice, so you know when the caps lock key is on and off. The only issues with the keyboard are it doesn't have a right control key, which is quite annoying. So using something like Oracle VirtualBox, it becomes an issue, and you have to remember to reassign it to a different key. So there's no right control key. Also, when using like Visual Studio and stuff, because you've got all your media keys where the F1 to F9 are, you have to remember to press FN and then F1 or F9, whatever you want to press. But other than that, the keyboard is very nice. Touchpad is also quite nice on this keyboard. I don't use a touchpad that often. I use a wireless mouse just because it's much more easier. But the touchpad is nice. It's nice spacing and stuff like that on it. It's nice width, and the feedback on it is quite good. It's nice solid. See, nice solid clicks. It does support commands and stuff like that. So you can do like a 3-finger swipe and it'll change the desktop and so forth. But it's just a standard touchpad, which works, which is nice. Moving on to the screen really quickly, we'll actually first just move on to the speakers and stuff, and I'm just popping my pin. So the speakers on this laptop are also very good. I'll just play some audio. It's on full volume, by the way, so you'll hear this. So. So that was the speakers on this laptop. Nice, clear, crisp audio, and the speakers are by Bang & Olufsen. So I'm not going to complain about the speakers, to be honest with you. Moving on to the screen really quickly. It's a nice 1080p. It is touchscreen, but I've turned it off because I don't use touchscreen. It's an edge-to-edge display. Nothing bad to say about the screen. It's nice to watch movies on the screen, and gaming, the occasional game here and there. It's nice to play games and watch movies on it. Not a problem. The only issue is that you do get a bit of a glare at times. You do get a lot of reflection. I think this is FHD screen, but other than that, it's nice. The edge-to-edge display is also an added bonus, because when you're watching movies, I don't really like thick borders around my movies, but not much to say about the screen, to be honest with you. It does come with a webcam, as you can see at the top. I've got mine covered. That's what happens when you study cybersecurity. But a webcam, it's a standard 720p webcam. It's not the best webcam in the world, but it's probably fine for conference calling. But I guess if you do a lot of conference calling, you might want to buy an additional webcam, because this, it's pretty rubbish. It is positioned in the correct place, unlike some manufacturers such as Dell or Lenovo. I believe they have it at the bottom or have it buried in one of the keys. But the webcam is not the best. But overall, the laptop has performed very, very well, and I would recommend it to students out there who are going to go to university this September. Battery life, I get about 8 hours for basic word processing and stuff like that, is about 8 hours on this laptop. For software development, virtual machines and stuff like that, I get about 6 hours, 5 to 6 hours on this laptop. This laptop does retail for about 1,150, but if you're a student, you can get it on a discount. HP do student discounts. In the UK, I know anyway. I'm not sure about any other country, but I guess you'd have to check yourself. I got mine for 950, and that was on a student discount. But overall, I would recommend this laptop for students, developers, and photographers, media workers, anyone really. It's just right on the money. Just under £1,000, and it's got a really good spec for what you're paying. So thank you for watching, and that's it.